Good morning, Jags.
Today on Jag TV, we will look back into a fitness activity that is also for a cause.
We also preview Day of the Dead, a Mexican cultural celebration.
We will also take a look into the hidden masterpieces found around campus.
This is Jag TV. For all NHS members, there will be a meeting tomorrow after school at 4:25 in the NPR room.
Bands of America will be held this weekend in San Antonio. This will also be the band's last competition of the season.
Jazz band auditions will be held on November 7th in the band room.
There will be a pep rally November 8th during 8th period on the band pad.
Any girls interested in running track, there will be a meeting at 8:30 a.m. or 4:15 p.m. Tuesday, November 13th to get season information. Track season starts in January, so if you're going to run, you must attend one of the meetings.
Early voting for midterms started this week, so Colby and Rebecca talked to the seniors who are taking this opportunity to cast their first vote.
The midterm elections are young voters' first chance to be heard following the 2016 presidential election. And even young voters know what's at stake.
I'm pretty sure that it's very close on Republicans and Democrats, but with this voting, it could turn on who controls the House.
In the 2 years since the presidential election, voters on either side of the issues have been ready for this opportunity.
The reason that this is a very big election which is kind of strange just because it's a midterm, usually people don't get fired up about midterms, is a lot of the stuff I read is this was a big reaction to the 2016 election. No matter what you feel on what side of the aisle, it's just kind of reactionary to how polarized that one is, and we are continually seeing this polarized political views within the United States.
Young voters are being encouraged through social media and even on campus to get out and be heard with their vote.
Y'all's generation is and just younger generations in general are very passionate about some things, but if you don't go voice your opinion through the elections, then it's just you're going to get frustrated possibly. Go voice your opinion and through that vote, and maybe you get what you want.
Although there are differences between parties, we have the potential to find common ground.
I think every election is going to be polarized to a degree, more or less. Like the last election, presidential election, was hugely polarizing. I think as long as we can learn to agree to disagree or politely debate, I think we'll be okay.
On November 6th, the school will be holding a mock election for the Senate, Governor, and Barrett County referendum. From Jag TV, this is Rebecca Normando.
One club at Johnson is making a difference by giving back to Latin American communities.
At Johnson, there is one club that's focusing on helping specific communities around the world.
The National Spanish Honor Society is a club here at Johnson High School, and we're essentially a group of people who are Spanish speaking or are interested in learning Spanish, and we do a lot of volunteering opportunities and community service to help Spanish-speaking communities here in San Antonio, Texas.
And this November, they'll be kicking off one of the biggest projects so far.
One of the things that's coming up is the Pulsera Project, which is it's an organization in Central America that helps families in Nicaragua and Central American countries by providing them with funds. And what they do is that they send us bracelets that we can sell here at school. And they've been doing it for a while throughout the United States. So we get these bracelets from Central America, and we can sell them here at Johnson and for no profit. So we're gonna sell them, and the money goes back to the families in Nicaragua of artists. So each bracelet is around $5. They are very colorful, and if you're interested in them, you can look up Pulsera Project online. There's a website, and we're gonna be selling them in all 3 lunches at the Johnson cafeteria. So if you're interested in helping these families and you want to purchase them, and if you like the bracelets, I would advise that you do so.
The club meets every other Thursday after school to discuss the plans for future projects.
Right now, the Spanish Honor Society is pretty small. We have only around 15 members, and we would like for more people to join. If you're interested, please visit G106 with Miss Henderson.
For Jag TV, this has been Talia Pimienta.
If you've visited your counselor lately, you've seen the latest addition to the counseling offices.
If you've had an appointment with your counselor lately, you might have noticed something new.
So here in the counseling office, we were fortunate enough
to get TVs to better share online resources and presentations and videos with our students and our parents that come in. So especially with new registrations, showing them the different websites, and then also with our current students, showing them resources online.
Counselors are able to use these TVs as a resource to help with students and families.
It's also really helpful because that way a family or student can focus on seeing the TV, and that connects with our computer. So we don't have Netflix or any fun cable, we just are able to use the TVs through our computers.
Principal John Melberg saw the need and funded the project.
The TVs are paid for through a fund that I collect. It's called the 901 fund. It gives me discretionary funds for items that we may need, whether it's technology or it's something like benches for outside in the hallway or whatever the campus might need. Some of it is for parking, the parking decals, parking signs, just depends upon what the school needs at that particular time.
And since the TVs are over 50 inches, it's much easier to see schedules and transcripts instead of crowding around a small computer monitor.
It really wanted to find a way that the parents can be more involved with counselors in scheduling or even applying for certain colleges. They can throw that up on a big screen so parents can see it rather than having to turn a computer or use a small monitor where it's really hard to see.
From the counseling office, this has been Tanner Garvin.
November 2nd is Day of the Dead. Aldara went to La Vallita to see the assembled altars.
La Villita in downtown San Antonio is continuing a tradition of honoring their past generations through altars as Dia de los Muertos approaches us.
We're never going to forget our loved ones. And the reason why is I was telling the people this, that we die 3 times. The first time that we die is when our heart stops beating. The second time we die is when they bury us, and the third time is when they forget about us, and we don't want, anybody to be forgotten, and we don't want to be forgotten. And then this is what we do to let our young generation continue this tradition, and because death is a celebration.
Last Saturday, Johnson students and staff, along with other organizations and schools, participated in the annual Buddy Walk. Julie and Talia have the details.
On October 20th, the 19th annual Buddy Walk presented by the Down Syndrome Association of South Texas was held at River City Community Church.
We actually started being involved with the Buddy Walk. It was actually a number of years ago. I was at an event and I bumped into some folks from the Down Syndrome Association, and we just started sponsoring the Buddy Walk. And they asked me to come pray, and so I've been involved with the Buddy Walk for years. But a couple of years ago, they were looking for a new place, and our campus was available, and they just said it would be perfect. So we were happy to do it. We love the organization, and we're just glad to be a part.
The Down Syndrome Association of South Texas' main purpose for the annual Buddy Walk is to increase awareness, inclusion, and raise funding for families with children with Down syndrome. Families from around South Texas come together to celebrate and enjoy the Buddy Walk's festivities.
For the Buddy Walk, just for raising funds for the Down Syndrome Association of South Texas. Having a son with Down syndrome, we definitely like to participate in this event and raise funds for future educational programs for him.
Volunteers from schools and organizations around San Antonio are the heart of the Buddy Walk, helping to organize it and make it special for everyone attending.
I look forward to with the walk, again, is just getting to meet everyone and just getting to be able to help others that really, they don't always get that support, so they need that support.
This is Julie Valencia from Jag TV.
Hidden in classrooms or hallways are some works of art that are unique to our campus. Javi and Eduardo have the story.
All over campus, art can be found in unexpected places. In a Spanish class in the G Wing, students have helped transform ceiling tiles into colorful artwork.
I think it's really cool. It's really interesting and it's a nice touch to the classroom. I really want to do one when I get the time because she lets all of her students make one if They ask her to.
Senora Henderson's class isn't the only teacher with art in her room. English teacher Julia Whitfield also displays student art around her classroom.
So I think that creating an environment, right, like a community sort of thing, is really important to do, and I think having artwork in the room kind of like sets an atmosphere.
In addition to all the student art in her class, Whitfield also has a custom mural on her wall.
So Charity Pennington painted the Bob Dylan mural in my classroom at the end of last school year, and she did it as a project for her art class. And she had never painted anything that big before, so I think that was part of what she was trying to do.
When the new band hall construction turned into a doorway into a temporary wall, theater students decided to have some fun with it.
The painting is of the tunnel in the Roadrunner cartoon. There was a really big, ugly wall in the theater department, and we didn't like it.
From Jag TV, I'm Javier Juarez.
Now for Jag Sports.
You already know we are back with another week of Jag Sports. We also hit the field last Thursday to check on football's nail-biting win over Roosevelt.
We also see how varsity volleyball is looking heading into playoffs. This is Jag Sports.
Down against the Roosevelt Rough Riders in the team's annual Thursday Night Lights game. Heading into the game, the Jags held the 3rd spot in district, while the Rough Riders were tied with Churchill for the 4th spot.
It was quite an unusual game as both teams battled it out on the defensive side, leading to a 6-2 Jaguar lead heading into the 4th quarter. With both of the Jags scoring drives coming from senior Brody Patty, Roosevelt sparked an interesting 4th quarter showdown as they scored and took a 9-6 lead with 6 minutes left. It only took one drive for the Jags to answer back and for them to take control of the game in the 12-9 victory. The Jags will play the Churchill Chargers this weekend in a matchup that could affect both playoff chances as the Jags look to secure and the Chargers look to keep their hopes alive.
Unfortunately, volleyball season ended last night as the team lost to the Brandeis Broncos in a first-round playoff match. I'd like to congratulate all the runners who will be competing in the state finals for cross country.
For Jag Sports, this has been Nick Casanueva
and Preston Martinez.
That's all for this week, Jags. From Jag TV, this has been Katie Peters
and Josh Keating. See you next time, Jags.
Spooky, scary skeletons and shivers down your spine. Shrieking skulls will shock your soul, seal your doom tonight. Spooky, scary skeletons.